Welcome back to the Decent Garage. We are back on the Ultimate American Truck Build, and we are facing a huge deadline to get this thing done for SEMA. So we have a lot more to do. Let's get into it.
The first thing to knock off the list was getting the doors installed. I got brand new seals for the doors and put sound deadener on the door panels.
Got the door completely wired in, the door locks are wired in, the speakers, the windows. There we go. So that's nice. Now what I'm gonna do, this is a kit from Charlie Pitcher. This is a door stiffening kit. So it's basically a brace that goes along the door right here. Really easy install. Just have to drill a couple holes, but it comes with all the hardware and everything. So we're going to install that on both doors, get all the linkage hooked up for the lock system, and then we can put our door panel on and our door handles, and the doors will be done. We're also going to run, these are from Metal by Charlie as well, Charlie Pitcher. These are stiffening plates that go behind the door handle right here so you don't get flex in the sheet metal. So we're going to run those as well. Also, I got the seat belts in. I don't know if I showed you guys that, but I ordered these silver seat belts. They're not factory first gen. They were from Summit Racing, but really nice, and they bolted right into the factory locations. So let's get the doors done and then get the seat in. That's all there is to it. It is installed. Essentially takes all the flex out of this panel, which is a big issue with these. You pull the door to open it and it flexes this panel. So it just takes the flimsiness out of that interior panel. Really easy install. That took me all of 10 minutes. So having a donor truck has been a lifesaver on this project. Here's a bunch of the trucks that are lined up to be worked on. But if you remember, this is going to be the chassis for this truck for my wife. So all the body and interior, it's all just donations to other projects. So I've actually pulled a couple parts already for the Ultimate American Truck Build. I took this headlight bezel, some of the vents, a couple other things. But now I need these linkages. The driver door on the Ultimate American Truck Build's missing this one and this one. So come out, pop this cover, and there they are. So we'll take them off, clean them up, throw them in. There we go. So I'm going to take them in, clean them up, put them on that driver door.
Putting in new seals and reconnecting all the linkages can be tedious, but just work slowly. It'll all come together.
All right, the doors are together. All the seals, windows, new window regulators, new lock actuators. Let me show you how fast these windows go up and down. It's pretty crazy. All right, here we go. And then down. Woo, blazing fast. So for an air intake on this truck, we're gonna run an intake system that I've run on many of my other trucks. It's great quality and it's from a company that I really like. 5.9 Fabrication makes air intakes for these trucks. So let's start getting this thing installed. Ooh-wee. So this kit comes with a gigantic Donaldson air filter, and I got the pre-filter as well. And here is our intake shield, keeps the heat out and the cold air in. Now this is a new option that Randy at 5.9 Fab is offering, powder coating these. He used to only offer them stainless, but I wanted black, so he figured out a way to do it, and now he's gonna offer it to everyone else. So if you want a different color than stainless, it's available. Yep, I am so glad that we went with black. Thanks to Randy for making that happen. And if you remember, these pieces right here are also from 5.9 Fab. Little dusty, but awesome pieces as well. Go check out his website. We need to clock our intake pipe toward the inlet of the air filter. and I'm waiting on some silicone elbows, but this is in. Looks really nice. All right, I've got the intercooler pipe plumbed in. I don't have it clamped down yet because I got to repaint or had to do some grinding. Got the air intake pipe in. Got to paint this pipe. And then on this side, I've got it figured out. I know what I'm going to do, but the elbow I bought for right here, I bought it in aluminum and I need it in stainless because I need to weld to it. So gonna have to wait a few days for that to show up, but that should be pretty easy. So it's all coming together. I'm going to crimp all the AC lines, and then we can put the hood on. I gotta put the seat in, making progress. So as we've been working on the truck, getting it to the point where it's almost done, I'm sure you've noticed we've not got the front of the truck buttoned up. That's because I was waiting on this. So this is a piece from Metal by Charlie that he is, I think, gonna start selling on his website. But what it is, this is a 3rd gen intercooler that he custom, it's usually quite tall. He cuts a couple inches off of it, TIG welds it down, so it fits perfectly in the 1st gen core support. We do have to do a little trimming, which I'll show you, but all the mounting holes line up, and he puts an AC condenser on there, runs the lines for the AC condenser, so you can just hook your AC lines right up to this, and it fits with the factory grill. So no trimming the grill or the valance, nothing like that. So we're gonna go over to the truck, fit this up. We do have to, like I said, trim. It's a little bit wider than the factory one, but it should fit perfect with what we've got going so far. So I've made some marks on here by setting up the intercooler right up against here, but obviously I can't fit it all the way in there because it's too wide. So right there is the center of the pipe. So we have to come around it right there. And about 1/2 inch on each side is how far we have to go into here. So we're gonna come down, make it nice, kind of this nice curve right here. Same thing on the other side. Cutting up a painted core support, but that's what you gotta do to run some of these nicer things. And we will repaint all the metal edges so we don't get any rusting, and we'll clean it up really nicely. It won't be an issue. It's worth it to run a better intercooler and an AC condenser. So let's get cutting. Okay, we've got that all widened out. It doesn't look too bad, especially when the intercooler's in there. But what I'm gonna do actually is come in and weld some pieces right in here so that is covered up, and then clean it up. I think that'll look much nicer than leaving this open. Crazy to be cutting and welding on a truck that needs to be done in less than 2 weeks, but here we are. So here is what we had. Still have to do this side obviously, but here's this side. Turned out really good. Gotta weld that little hole right there, but hopefully that does Charlie proud. Man, this turned out so good. There it is. Got my notches notched out, welded up. Just need to paint them. This one too. And he's got the AC lines ran, hard lines, so that we can just come right off our dryer, bring them up, connect to those. They've got the AN fittings on this side right here. Another awesome product by Charlie. He just makes awesome stuff. Look at this too. He didn't have to trim that right there, and he's pretty sure we won't have to trim the safety latch. He said if we do, it'll be 1/4 of an inch at most, but pretty sweet. Now I got a box full of intercooler boots, different variations. That's got 3 rings on it. This has 3. There's some that have 2. So just tons of stuff, because now we have to tie in our intercooler piping up into the intake, down to the intercooler, and over here off of this cold side, cold charge pipe, and we have to do our intake over to our air intake. Hopefully it works out pretty well. When Holden Bros did all this intake work right here, we just kind of put it where we thought would be good, but we didn't know what air intake we were running, what intercooler, so we knew it was going to have to be modified. So that will have to be modified, but I think with all the stuff I have, I think we can figure out something and make it work and make it look really good, because everything else on this truck looks really good. So we got to keep the standard high.
In preparation for getting the seat in, I buttoned up the dash, including the steering column plastics, and I ran into another issue.
So throughout this project, it's probably been obvious to see that without doing factory wiring, factory HVAC, and a lot of the factory stuff, we've run into little hiccups here and there. Let me show you another one. So I went to mount up the glove box right here, and you can see it does not sit back as far as it should. Sticks out maybe 3/8 of an inch, maybe a ½ inch. Super frustrated when I found that out, trying to figure out a solution. And I got with Randy from 59 Fab, and we came up with a solution. So he 3D printed this piece right here. And what we're gonna do is essentially cut out a rectangular section right here in the glove box, and then rivet this indentation into the glove box so it allows for more clearance of the HVAC box. That should solve our issue, I hope. We're going to find out here in a second. That's the cleanest solution that I could come up with, and it actually looks really good. So let's go ahead and see what we can make of this. Okay, before we put in our 3D printed panel, let's test it and make sure that's gonna do it. Oh yeah! All right, now to figure out how to attach this. It is time to show you guys the seat and put the seat in. Oh, it looks so good. Let me grab my wife, she's gonna help me put it in. Run all the seat belts where they're supposed to go. It is going to make this thing feel complete. Here is the seat. Look how good this turned out. Really cool pattern. It's mainly grayish silver with a hint of red in the center fabric, and then some of the piping is red as well. So I took this to AJ Upholstery in Provo, Utah. That's the place I took the Long Bed Larry headliner to, and they made the awesome headliner. So they did this. I really just told them I wanted it a little more lumbar support, comfortable, re-padded, everything, and this is what they came up with, and they killed it. So they also did the headliner for this truck. They did the door inserts as well, so you'll see those when we get to that part, but it really ties everything together. So let me know, what do you think of this? I think it turned out awesome.
With the seat in, I decided to get the hood on with the help of my wife.
Whew, we are almost to the finish line. So you saw my wife and I got the hood on. It's almost adjusted, just a little bit of tweaking left to do. Got to button up the front. I got all the wiring buttoned up. What else? Got the AC lines almost buttoned up, but I have one fitting I'm waiting here for that should be here in a couple days. Obviously we got the seat in, and then I'm taking the bed to get re-bed lined tomorrow. White bed liner again. And then I'll bring it back tomorrow. We'll put it on, and it'll be then we can put all the rear lights in, tail lights, bolt down the fifth wheel hitch, put our B&W tow hitch on the back. I've been painting a bunch of plastics just kind of as I've worked. There's a bunch right there. Painted, clear coated, look really good. The door panels. Sheesh. We are going to make it. I can tell you that now.
One thing I always leave to the professionals is installing windshields on these trucks. the glass installed, let's see what front bumper we're going with on this build.
So this bumper that I'm going to put on the truck and the bumperettes are from Raul at First Gen Resistance. And I've actually worked with Raul a lot, and he has been a huge help on this build and many others. But he sells products. He also gets a lot of products refurbished. So you'll see the chrome on this bumper and these bumperettes is brand new. So it's going to look really good. Let's get it pulled out, mount it up, see how it looks. Then we can get our valance piece on and the grill. I don't think I'm going to put the grill on quite yet though, because that's super nice. I wanted to have that be the very last piece. As we button up the interior, it is now time to put the headliner in. So again, AJ Upholstery in Provo, Utah did this, and they knocked it out of the park. There you go. And they took the board and reinforced a bunch of it with fiberglass, and obviously used some of the same material as the seat to tie that together, and then the normal headliner material, because Joker has a bunch of flight patches that he had on his headliner, so we wanted to leave a space for those to go up.
For the interior trim, I used new pieces from First Gen Industries, and any of the new pieces that I couldn't find, I sourced from Keeper Tuned.
Okay, it is time to put our shift boot in, and with all my trucks, I go with Stronghold shift boots. Now, I have to give a huge shout out to these guys. It's a one-man band. He does it out of his garage. He was kind of just not doing any right now, but luckily he answered my message on Instagram, and he made this up custom in a matter of a couple days and got it shipped out to me so we could have it in time for the show. He bent over backwards. That's the kind of guy the owner of Stronghold shift boots is. But it's this gray color with red stitching. He was able to make the G56 shift boot and the two twin stick shift boots all together to go under one base plate. So all looks as one unit. So pretty sweet. Let's get this thrown in and see how it looks. So first we got to feed our wire for our exhaust brake through and have that go down under the carpet. Whew, that looks good. Well, we got a ton done in today's video. That intercooler by Metal by Charlie turned out awesome. I hope you guys like that. Word is he might start selling those on his website, so stay tuned for that. The interior, let me know what you guys think of that. I think it looks awesome. Next video, we've got to tackle everything left on the outside. All the molding, pinstripes, wheel arches, just a lot of stuff, but we should have the truck done in the next video. We'll see you then.